Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are all organised for Christmas. I thought I'd wear my Christmas dress today, go all sparkly and snowflakey to try and get into the mood of things. I am still working at my main job, and so I'm not quite in the Christmas mood yet, but I will be. I will be. I have got some Christmas wrapping paper now, so I can get some things wrapped up. And I have got a few more Christmas cards still to do. I think at this point they're going to be New Year cards though, aren't they? Anyway, tonight I have got some non-Christmas stuff for you because I've got more new spring summer stuff to show you. So as a demonstrator, we get to order stuff in advance. We get a pre-order period, and usually it's the month beforehand. So right now in the month of December, we get to pre-order stuff for stuff that's happening in January. I got some stuff extra early because I went to one of the Stampin' Up events, the on stage at home, and so I got a special pre-order as part of that. So I think I have shown you some stuff before, but I've got more stuff now to share with you. So it's all in the same box. So I'm going to pull it out. The reason I can tell whether you've seen it or not is because the packs of designer series paper will either have been opened or they will be sealed. And if they're sealed, I know you haven't seen it. And if they're opened, I know you have. So I will just move on. So let's jump to the goodies and show you the good stuff. And I will put on my lights because it's definitely winter. Lights are showing a reflection. I'm going to have to figure out how best to have the light without these kind of halos in the side. But anyway, right. First off, goodness, I have quite a large box of stuff. I earned some free product credits, so I blew it all on new shiny new stuff. So this one here, so this is the Adoring Hearts stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set, and it's 10 stamps in the set, and it's got these lovely hearts. You know what I should have? Let's see if I can find a spring summer catalogue to hand, because I know that there are coordinating products. This is the coordinating product with this one. So the Adoring Hearts stamp set, so things like Celebrating You, Just for You, You're Most Loved, these I Adore You. So these obviously Valentine's, but they could be birthdays, weddings, just a love note to someone. Hey Jen, glad you're here. So I've got that stamp set, and then I have this pack. So this is a hybrid embossing folder, which, there we go. Let me open this up. So this is the pack that coordinates with the stamp set, and normally you just get like coordinating dies, but these are dies and an embossing folder. So let me show you the dies first. As you would expect, some of the dies cut out some of the shapes. Hey Ali, hope you're doing well. I love stuff with hearts. I really do. I was going to say relatively recently married. It's going to be 8 years in January. Now these are much bigger than I thought they were going to be, but they're still really cute. So you've got this one big die. I'm going to actually peel it off and show you the size of it. Ooh, actually quite large. Let me peel this off carefully. What do you guys think about hearts? Love them, hate them, can't have enough, got too many of them already? Yeah, so if you think this is the size of about a DVD case, that's the size of the hearts die. This is big. But then you've got this lovely, you see that, these lovely little floral hearts, and that fits in quite nicely. Of course, you've also got these separate hearts as well, so that fits perfectly inside that heart stamp. It also cuts out this little one here just with the single like flower and leaves at the bottom, so that's quite pretty. And then you've also got these kind of decorated hearts up at the top, and you've got 3 of those. You've got a tiny little trio of mini hearts. You don't get much use out of them, Jen. Yeah, this is our year though. We're going to use them much more. This one along here that cuts out the 3 hearts, the banner. I like this one. I mean, these 3 patterned hearts are really cute, but I think that's my favourite of them. And then the little foliage pieces too. But then the thing that's really cool with this is you've got the embossing folder. And this is not your ordinary embossing folder. Normally, you know, you open it up, you stick the card in, you roll it through, wham bam, pretty pictures. And these are very pretty. So if I put the white behind them, can you see it any better? Probably see it better without it. So you can see you've got these patterned hearts in the grids and all these little hearts in the background as well. But what you can do with this is you can take this die and fit it into the embossing folder and then put your cardstock on and close over the whole thing and basically cut and emboss all at the same time. This is a specially designed embossing folder that's designed to do this cutting and embossing. Please don't put your ordinary dies into your ordinary embossing folders. That will not end well. But this is specially designed. It's got a wider hinge. It's designed to coordinate and to match. So that is going to be a lot of fun to play with. And I am looking forward to playing with that in January. I haven't really been doing much in the way of non-Christmas at the moment because it is still very much a very Christmassy zone I'm in at the moment. But that is a really cool embossing folder. These are the dies that go with it. There's a lot of dies in this set. How many dies are there? Tells you on the thing. 14. 14 dies that go in there. That coordinates with the embossing folder, that coordinates with the stamp set. And this is the Adoring Hearts bundle. Obviously, you can buy the stamps separately. You cannot buy the embossing folder separately or the dies separately. These are sold as a bundle together. You cannot buy them individually. And so these items are sold in one pack, and then you can choose to add on and buy them two together and get a 10% discount. So what else have I got in the box here? I've shown you that already. I know I've shown you that already. And I know I've shown you that already. I'm not showing you the stuff you've already seen. Don't want to waste your time. Ah, that's where my envelopes went. I was hunting high and low because I thought I had more envelopes. And I did. There they were. All right. I think the only other things that I've got, because I'm looking through there and there's stamps and dies and ribbons. So I've shown you all of that already. The one thing which I have got to show you, which is different, are the papers, because I have now got my hands, I'm going to put those ones away because they're duplicates. I've now got my hands on all of the papers from the Spring Summer catalogue and Celebration. And you might have seen if you are on my email list or if you have received a catalogue from me, I am doing a paper share in January. So you can get a quarter pack of every single designer series paper in the catalogue, in the Spring Summer catalogue, and it will cost you £25. If you were to buy all of these packs individually, it would cost you well over 100. But if you want, you can get a share, so you can get a quarter pack, so that'll be a 6x12 piece of the 12x12s, or two 6x6s if they're the smaller packs. And what's more is you can add on the Celebration ones. If you want to get the Celebration papers too, that's an extra £15. So 25 for the Spring Summer, and then add, if you choose, add on £15, taking it up to 40 to get the full thing. Information is on my website. I will put the link in the chat. So what have we got here? These are the Sunny Days designer series paper. So you've got all these funky clouds on one side. What are the colours? Basic black, crushed curry, petal pink, pool party, poppy parade, and shaded spruce. And then that's on the other side. Oh, that's cool. Do you see that? You kind of got the clouds up at one end and then all the raindrops at the other. That could be a really, really cool scrapbook page. I don't do a lot of scrapbooking. It's something I want to do more of. Jen here is my scrapbooking expert. These are really nice. So you've got these poppies. So that'll be your poppy parade red shade. And then on the other side is this petal pink, kind of like gingham check, which is really good. These flowers in shaded spruce. You know, it's strange. I don't often think of green flowers. You think of green leaves, don't you? But they are nice. Oh, and I love the rainbows. Now that's very similar to papers that we had a couple of years ago. Do you remember? They were 6x6, but they were multicolored rainbows. These ones are just in different shades of green. So Shaded Spruce, Pool Party. Hopefully you can see that in the lighting. The strawberries are very funky. Love them. They are definitely conjuring up spring, summer days. We used to go and pick strawberries as a kid. Very good. Pick your own. Did any of you guys ever go and pick your own strawberries? The butterflies, they're really fun. They're bright yellow. I think that's your crushed curry. Good for backgrounds. Hey, Shona. Glad you're here. This is lovely. So this is your traditional floral backgrounds, but it's those kind of reds and pinks and whites. It's a nice shape. I would like a dress out of that. I think that would make a really nice dress fabric. And this is cool. It's almost like, can you see the, I'm going to hold it up, see if you can see the lines. There's little like mosaic lines in the background. It's almost like little suns rising on the horizon and little rays that go all the way out. That's a really funky pattern. Actually, that coupled with, where's the one with the clouds? Coupled with that, those two go really well together. Love that. So you've got the flowers with the sunrise, sunset on the other side. The cherries are really funky. Again, I'd love a dress out of that fabric. Hi, Christine. I'm glad you're here. And then you've got this one as well. So this is their pool party kind of lines. It's almost the sort of thing that would be rain coming out of a cloud. Cool. So that is the Sunny Days Designer Series paper. I shall put that back in the pack. What do you think of that one? Is that one that you can see yourself crafting with? Are you thinking of cards that you could use with those papers? Or are you thinking scrapbooking papers? Or are you thinking, nah, do you know what? Not my colours, not my patterns, not for me. Let me know in the comments whether that's your sort of thing or not. The next one we've got here is Poetic Expressions, 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. These colours are Boho Blue, Bubble Bath, Lost Lagoon, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Wild Wheat. So you've got this one here to begin with. Have I shown you these papers before? No, I don't know if I have. Have I? If they look familiar, tell me and I'll stop. But you've got this one. So this is clearly your boho blue, that sort of vintage pattern. And I like that. I can see me using that on cards. That's very nice. That's your Moody Mauve, and I think Bubble Bath is probably that sort of pinky shade inside it as well. It's just nice as well. Do you know, it almost makes me think of like vintage doll's house. If you were doing a doll's house, you could totally use some of these for papers or carpets or linoleum. You know, these are really, really fun prints to use. But for those sort of shabby chic kind of cards, so yeah, look again, your boho blue or your bubble bath. These are just really, really nice for that sort of distressed edge, shabby look. Hey, Julie, glad you're here. Oh, you see, this is really pretty. See, I would say it's meant to be this way up. These tiny little flowers. Can you see that? So they're mossy meadow, and then they've just got tiny little dots of bubble bath. I keep wanting to call it bubble gum. That one as well. Not so sure I would use that side as much. I think I'd probably use the floral side more. That's the joy of double-sided paper. If there's one side you're not keen on, flip it over. See what the other side's like. That's nice as well. Oh, yes. So again, these sort of designs, I can see me using them on a lot of different cards. I don't know if I would, and this one I could do as a whole card background. This one I would probably do more like a stripe or an accent. And this is your wild wheat with the roses. And on the other side, yeah, more of these mosaics. That makes me think of like Glasgow tenements, you know, in the stairwells often have these amazing mosaics. So that's a really cool pattern. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so that was the Poetic Expressions, 12 by 12 papers. What did you think of them? Did you like them better than the first lot? Did you prefer the first papers? Have you yet to see anything that grabs your attention? Well, I know, let's do them in order. Let's not jump ahead. This is the Forever Love Specialty Designer Series paper. Moody Mauve, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, and Very Vanilla. So this is a specialty paper, so it's going to have accents on it throughout. So I don't know if you can see the gold shine on that. You must be able to see how shiny that is. Really beautiful. And you've got that moody mauve in the background with the gold. Even these, you know, cut that out in an oval and just stick that onto your card. So easy to make projects with this. Or actually, I can see this being really good for 3D items. So boxes, covered notebooks, things like that. Be a lot of fun. And a nice subtle picture on the other side. That's the thing with the specialty. A lot of the times the specialty that is the star of the show. The others are supporting casts. Oh, gorgeous. Love, love, love. So this is your pretty peacock. And then with those gold accents, this is just stunning. Love it. And then, yeah, your supporting cast paper on the other side. Still very pretty, but it's going to be that side every day for me. That's absolutely the winner for me. But then we go and get this. Oh, I'm sorry. I really, really love this paper. It's the first time I've opened this pack. I'd seen it in the catalogue, but you don't really get a proper idea of it when you see it in the catalogue, do you? That's why I think the paper share is going to be such a good idea, because it gives you a sample of everything. And then you can decide if there's any that you want a full pack of rather than just the share. But already I'm thinking you can cut this out. You could do it this orientation, you could very easily do it in that orientation. Pair it with this, that along the, oh yeah, we're going to have fun with this. See, when I'm doing my lives in January, we're definitely going to have fun playing with these papers. These ones again. So similar to that very first sheet that we looked at, where it was the mauve with the moody mauve with the pictures. This is it, but it's with the pretty peacock with the different gold pictures popped out. Really, really beautiful papers. And again, very lovely print on the other side, but definitely supporting cast. And this one's the star of the show. Oh, this, I mean, I know I'm kind of waxing lyrical about all of them, but that is just, can you see they're like tiny roses in the centre of these kind of crisscross patterns? And then, yeah, very nice on the other side, but clearly this one is nice. I am just a huge fan of Pretty Peacock. I really am. In fact, we've just bought bed sheets, which are very, very similar in colour. This one, again, I love. This is the sort of one that I would use as elements, so like cut a strip out of it to put on something. And then the supporting cast, that's almost like lace on the other side. Very pretty, very pretty. But yeah, that is absolutely one of my favourite packs of paper. Forever love designer series paper. And I think it's really nice having a love set of papers that aren't all just pinks and reds. You know, this is the golds with the pretty peacock. It's a really unusual pack of papers. Not the norm. Right, see if you can guess what this one might be called. It's called Rock and Roll. And it's all about the music. So this one is just black and white. It says basic black, and I would expect basic white. So let's look at these. Let's start at the top. So you've got these sheets here with all the different guitars, and already I am so glad that they've done them in black and white, because now I can cut out these guitars and I can colour them in any colour I want. So I have quite a few friends who are big guitar players, and I can just imagine doing a birthday card. Actually, you wouldn't even need to cut them out. Just do a card blank out of that and then colour in the bodies of the guitars, a bright red, a blue, a gold. Oh, you could do clear embossing on them to make them look shiny. Oh yeah, gonna have fun with this. And then again, supporting cast on the other side. That's kind of like your background splattered paint effect, which is pretty cool. Now, this, I don't know why, but it makes me think of sound waves. So you know how when you see all the lines on like on the visual representation of a recording, that's what that makes me think of. But yeah, I'd have called that more a supporting cast type one. This is very cool. So again, I think as a whole page for a scrapbook page, it's very striking, it's very artistic, but equally chopped up and just having a card blank of that, that's a perfect canvas. Cut out a couple of your guitars to put on the top of it. These are the sort of cards, I don't want to just say for the men in your life, because lots of women love music and rock and roll as well, but we all know that the guys can be a little tricky to craft for sometimes, and I think this is going to be a really good set of papers to use. You love the papers, Jen. Good, good. This one, you see I have got it upside down. The speakers, the turntables, the cassette players, and then that mixtape. Can you see them? Tiny little cassettes. This is definitely going old school. Kids these days, they're not going to know what half of these things are. But that's really quite cool. I love that. So again, as a background would be really cool. Cutting out the separate elements, could do that as well. And then, yeah, that. It's almost like the Galaxy papers out of the annual catalogue, but just in black and white, that sort of splattered effect, although it almost looks like the night sky with stars. That's very cool. More of your not quite wood grain texture certainly side. So that's going to be a background, that's going to be a texture. Wow, this is like crumpled paper. I mean, as I look at that, as I just put that flat, it looks crumpled. It looks like you should be able to run your hand over and have it really bumpy, but that is completely smooth. That is really quite a clever image. It looks 3D. You put that on the front of somebody's card, they're going to, you know, almost have to touch it to say that can't be flat. Very retro, Jen. You're absolutely right. And then this bit, this is almost like the soundproofing that you get in recording studios. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a recording studio, but they have, some of them still have like egg boxes stuck to the walls to help with deadening and the acoustics. And this looks very much like the acoustic deadening sound blocking type stuff you get in studios. Wow. See, again, which way up should that be? That way? That way? You could do it either way, couldn't you? Again, almost reminiscent of sound waves. Very funky. And this is more like paint that's been put on with a palette knife. Again, quite a cool background. And then your black and white checks. Very dramatic. These are really, really cool papers. There's this sort of thing here that gives you a lot of scope for the imagination. And just black and white sometimes with a pop of colour can be so effective. You can do black and white on its own as well, absolutely. But I think they're going to be really fun to play with. I'm going to have fun with those. Right. Did I leave the best to last? Maybe I did. This is the Nature's Sweetness specialty paper, 12 by 12. And the colours on this one, Pebbled Path, Pecan Pie and Gold. So again, straight off, can you see the gold accents and the gold highlights on that? So let's, now I'm wondering, there's one that I took out because I thought that's multiples. There is. I've forgotten one. There you go. This is not the last one. This is the second last one. So start off with these. So you can see that's actually like a cocoa pod and cocoa flowers. That says prune. So that's maybe a prune one. What does that say? Fibroma cacao. So cocoa pods. And with, again, supporting cast on the other side. But that gold is really shiny. Look at this. So yeah, I do love the specialty papers. I'm not going to lie. Just that gold with the, they're almost like little gypsophila type things. And even that's very cool, that picture with the cocoa beans. My husband and I went on honeymoon to St. Lucia and we got to see like a cocoa plantation and it was an amazing experience. This is really cool. So this is like newsprint, but it's all, it's like gardening terminology stuff in here, you know, no bulbous flower in this country, so generally cultivated as the tulip. There's one here about farmers, hot summers, but you've got these gold splatters all the way over it. It's really cool. So again, kind of like the white with the text and then the gold splatters. Beautiful. And then more of your cocoa pods and other, I think like vanilla. Oh, those are definitely vanilla beans on the other side. Ah, more gold. Definitely all about the gold here. So shiny. Now that's interesting because it's very similar to that one, but not quite. So the writing on this is much more defined. This is very, very faint and the splatters are in grey, not gold. But I can certainly see those two papers complementing each other. Ooh, this is nice. This is just like gold checks, but again, very distressed. Trying to see if you can see the shine on it. Can you see that as it goes? It's a very cool pattern. It's all done in gold. Ah, now here you go. This is one of these sheets of paper. So all you need to do, cut it out, 6 card fronts, just by cutting out these shapes. Or you could cut them out using a die. You could fuzzy cut around them as well quite easily. And that could be a focal point for your card. That's very cool. Final sheet on this one. So again, this is more your text. And this is pebbled paths. This is quite a nice soft grey that it's on. And then like this gold handwriting. What does it say? Nursing it well during that season, some trees bear their fruit. So again, it's more gardening stuff. Some trees bear annually and some bear alternately and some yearly. Interesting. No doubt somebody will determine what it says and write them all down. And then sort of like your pecan pie background to it. Again, definitely supporting character there. That's that papers. What do you think? Greys and browns. It's not not shades that I normally would put together, but I think they work. Certainly the cocoa pods with the vanilla beans. Lovely. And then, as I say, there is another pack. For some reason, I thought I'd ended up with 2 the same, but this is another pack of paper. So this is the Most Adored specialty paper. Oh yeah. Most Adored specialty paper. And this is Flirty Flamingo, Real Red and Gold. So to start off with, we've got these sheets here. So these are like tiny little sprigs with flowers and little hearts in between. And on the other side, wow. So that's very much your Flirty Flamingo shade. It's almost like a marbled effect that you get, which is really cool. But I think the pink and the gold go really well together. They really complement each other. Look at that for the swirls. These are amazing. I think this paper is actually one of the celebration freebies. So you can't buy this one. You can only earn it free during celebration. Or you can do my paper share and you can have the celebration papers as an add-on. So I like that. It's like a red checked pattern. Very nice. And with the gold, very funky. Love it. More of the gold and white. So this is more your checks. Would we call that gingham or tartan? I think that's closer to tartan, even though it is just gold and white. Oh, that's cute. So you've got the pink hearts there. So they're kind of on, if you look at the whole page, the background has got this kind of mottled effect. But then as you look at them closer, those hearts, I'm going to hold it up and hope the camera focuses. There you go. See the detail there, those little flowers. I wonder, let me just pull this back out. Yeah, those dies, they will cut out these hearts. So that's one that coordinates with the Adoring Hearts bundle we talked about before, which isn't a surprise given that the paper's called Most Adored. It's almost as if they do them intentionally. These are cute. So again, gold roses on the white background. They're really pretty. And oh, little red hearts on the background. I can see them being very useful. Oh, now, okay, I think this has to be my favourite sheet of this pack so far. So it's one of these ones where the whole sheet, it's kind of got half of it on one side and then it kind of is very dense, goes into the middle and gets a little sparser and then dense again. And actually it does go this way up because you can see the hearts are in that direction and then they kind of flip. So at the other side, they're in the other direction. Now, the best way to use, oh, come on. The best way to use this sort of kind of paper is to cut it in half and then just do your card blanks, and you'll easily get 3, maybe even 4, depending on the size that you do them, out of one half and then out of the other. So if you're doing my paper share, this paper will be half down that way so that you'll get a half that's got all of those bits in it. Although to be fair, a 6x6 card, just using, let's see, just doing that as a card background, beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. Right, what's on the other side? Your kind of pink and red checks, kind of tartan effect. I think that's cute as well. Love it, love it, love it. More of your gold and white. This is the last in the pack here. That's very funky. And then your flirty flamingo heart background as well. And actually, I wonder. Yeah, I think those hearts would fit inside those hearts. That fits them. No, that die is almost certainly for that. So those, you could fussy cut them round and stick them on there. You could just have them mix and match. Do lots of different things with them. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to keep it open like this. And I think I'm going to put that one on the top of the pack because it's definitely my favourite. I find that this helps actually. See if you're looking through a pack of paper and there's some that you love and there's some that you're not sure about. Make sure that the one that you love the most is the one that's on the outside of the pack. And then that way when you're flicking through your papers and you think, what am I going to craft with? You'll see it, you'll remember that that's the one that you loved. You'll pull out the pack, you're far more likely to craft with it. Because, let's not pretend you're just the same as me. You hoard this stuff and it's too pretty to use. And then you buy different stuff. You don't use that either. We need to get back to crafting, guys. We really need to. It's not meant to be a collector sport. This is meant to be something that we do and have fun with. So, right. What's the time? It is 8:05. I'm going to make a Christmas card. I've had this design in my head for months. And I want to make it tonight. I'm going to be using the Night Divine stamp set and dies. If you want to stay and watch, that's great. Please feel free. If you don't, if you need to go, totally understand. We'll see you next time. I will be doing a live in between Christmas and New Year, but this will be my last live before Christmas. So anybody who wants to drop off now, have a fabulous Christmas. Wishing you all the best with your friends and family, whether it's Christmas you celebrate or one of the other holidays at this time of year. Just want to wish you peace and blessings to you and yours at this time. And for everybody else who's staying, I'm going to do some crafting. So let's see. This is what's been in my head. It's similar to a card that we did at the retreat. We did this card which was like a cube card type thing. And I thought I'm going to try and do it again, but I'm going to do it much smaller. And I want it to fit into one of my standard C6 envelopes. So I want it to be 10 wide. And I'm probably going to do it 10 tall. So I'm going to have 5, 10, 15, 20 and the 21. So let's take this. I am very much winging it at the moment, guys. So don't be surprised if this doesn't work perfectly. In fact, please don't expect it to work perfectly. I'm going to cut that at 10 centimetres. And then I'm going to score at 5, 10, 15, and then I'm just going to score this at 1 up at the top, which is the same as scoring at 20, but it means you don't have to pull the arm out. Anybody would think I'm lazy or something. Let's use our bone folder and crease along all of these creases. And then I don't want seal. Just grab some glue. One moment. Right, back with some Tombow. Just having a quick look just in case anybody is still here. A couple of you are still here. Thank you to everyone who stayed. What I'm doing is I'm basically making a cube like that, or making a tube rather. So what I want to do is that little flap, that's what I'm going to put my glue on. And then I'm going to have that in the middle, and I'm going to have this other piece that goes over, and I'm going to glue it down when it's flat. But while the glue is still slightly wet, I'm just going to check that it opens up. Thanks, Shona. So there we go. So I've got my square tube like that. So that is going to be the kind of basis for this card. Then I'm going to do 2 more cubes on the front. So these ones are going to be, now they're both going to be 5 centimeters, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it at 10. Method to the madness, guys. Right, so this is 10 centimeters here. I'm going to put it in and I'm going to score it like I did before at 5. I'm going to score it at 10, score it at 15, and then just score that little bit there at 1. And now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut it at 5. And that way I have identical score lines on both of them. I only had to do it once. Why make life hard for ourselves? Let's have an easy life. Life is too short to make it difficult. Getting used to this glass mat, by the way. It sounds different to paper, obviously, but I actually really enjoy the way that it feels when I'm crafting. I haven't been brave enough yet to just stamp straight onto it and then wipe it off afterwards, but it'll come. I can be brave. There we go. The same with the other side. Put it up. It's always wise to do this just while the glue is still slightly wet, so that you can make sure that you've got a nice cube, but that it also folds flat in both directions. Okay, now that I've got that, I'm going to fold this completely flat, and I'm going to make sure that my crease, so that was the bit that folded together, make sure it's at the back, and then on the front I'm going to glue these down. So again, I'm going to make sure that my little crease bit is at the bottom, because I'm going to put that on there like that. When you're doing this one, it is really important that that bottom line lines up, because you want this to, oh, you don't want to put too much glue on. There we go. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, piece that looks like this. Do you know, as I'm doing this, I'm wondering whether I shouldn't have done that one a bit taller. I'll keep it square. This might be the prototype and I might end up doing a slightly different version. I want to do a card, so my aunt and uncle, my uncle makes the most gorgeous Christmas cards every year. And it's become a bit of a challenge to make him a Christmas card that he will find impressive, because his Christmas cards are always so impressive. So I try and do a special one for him each year. For him and my aunt. I do love them both equally. Right. So there we go. So we've got this one here with the cubes. So that's what it's like when it stands up. That's it from above. If I just kind of tilt it, you'll see a bit what it's like from the front. Okay. So my plan now, see, I want to put a thing in the middle, but I think it's going to be too small. Let's try this. Let's try this. Once I've cut out all my pieces, kind of explain to you how I think they're all going to work. On that, on that. Right. Cut out these pieces. I'm going to cut them out in basic black, and because they're intricate, I'm going to use my adhesive sheets. Thank goodness for adhesive sheets. So, let's see, I'm going to put that piece there and that piece there. So I need a 5 centimetre strip. And then I want the adhesive sheets. I've accidentally pulled 2 packs off the shelf, but they're both 2 partial packs. So I'm just going to combine them. And I need, to be fair, that's going to be more than enough. Let's do that slightly smaller. So I don't need to do it 5, I'm just going to do it at 4.5. Like so. Just pop that piece back in with the other one. Now let's stick this on. So I wonder, do I need 3 of them? I do. Yeah, because if I don't, he's not going to have his legs. But let's just cut that in half. Waste not, want not. I do not want to waste. There we go. Right, now let's run this through my cut and emboss. So, oh, now this is something I'm looking forward to trying, because when I have my cut and emboss on my grid paper, it quite often slides around, but I can feel already this isn't sliding. This is just staying in its place. So already that's a big win for me. Right, so I've put my cardstock down. Adhesive sheets are on the other side. That's the way I need it to be. Let's put that on, run this through. I might run it through twice, just because it's got the adhesive sheets. I want to make sure it cuts cleanly. The way to check this, as always, is just to lift it off and look at the other side and see if you can see, and I can see all of that's properly cut out. So I am happy that that has worked. Let's put this down the way. Ideally not somewhere I'm going to trip over. Right. Let's poke that out. trusty pokey tool. I cut so many of these shapes out when I was doing the SEC, and I made so many cards using these dies. They were really, really fun to play with, and they were really popular as well. Right. Didn't use the camel as much. It's mostly this one here, the nativity type scene. But, and actually the last time I used it, I clearly did it in gold because there must have still been some little bits left inside the dies. So, right, so I have a camel. Oh, I did the camel in black. I was going to do the camel in brown. I'll show you what it's going to look like in black, and then if you think I need to do the camel in brown, we can change it. Now, this piece here, chopping it up. So I want to have this piece, just going to cut it, and this piece as well, just going to cut that. So now I've got these different pieces here. Now you see, that's clearly the wise man because he's got a gift. But I wanted to have the wise man with a camel. Camel really needs to be in this direction. If I cut it in this direction, I can't have the adhesive sheets on it. Might not use the camel. Might just use this. Or could, no, that is definitely, well, because you see, that's a sheep. He should be with a shepherd. I get that it fits better this way because of his staff, but anyway. Right, what I'm going to do is, the idea is to have this like a nativity scene. Mary and Joseph are going to be on the little pop-up bit in the centre. There. And then I'm going to have this at one side and this at the other side. But before I do that, I need to plan the bits that they're going to go on. And that is why I pulled out these papers, because I think this is what I want. So definitely from the side. Actually, this is going to look quite cool. How tall is that? Not quite. See, that should have been 12. If it had been 12, it would have been perfect. Let's see. What else can I use? I think I can still save this. I think I can. Yes. If this is 8, it is. Perfect. Right. Cut that. Actually, I'm not going to cut it at 12. I'm going to cut it at 13 and a half. And I'm going to cut that at 4 and a half. Actually, you see, because again, it's not quite 9. Oh, it's just tying myself up in knots here. It's nearly 9. 3 and a half, a quarter. I'm going to do it to there. This will all make sense in a minute, guys. Don't worry. So, cut this at 4 and a half and 4 and a half. Have you figured it out yet? Put that there, and then cut this at 4 and a half and 4 and a half. Now, let's put this down completely flat. Let's glue this on. So this one is going to go here. Now my squares are 5 by 5, so my papers I've done 4.5 by 4.5. And have I just stuck that on upside down? No, I haven't, because that goes on next. That's fine. Mild panic. 4.5 by 4.5. Let's put these on as well. Love these papers. They are so fun to craft with. They look amazing. They are so easy to put together the cards with. And I was so disappointed when they sold out. Sometimes you think, oh, will they carry it over to next catalogue? But no, they have decided to start fresh, which is a shame. So if you've got these papers, I hope you enjoyed them. Have fun with them. They're there, use them, enjoy them. Let's do these two pieces next. I should start another bit of Tombow soon. A little fleck of gold is determined to be on this card somewhere. There we go. So now when it opens up, they were lovely papers, Flora, they really were. So now you've kind of got this scene here like that. And then we're going to have, just had an idea, don't know if this will work, might not work. I'm going to try and do a bit of the stable on the inside, but I think it's far too big. Yeah, too big. So let's pick some of this. Oh, where's my Night of Navy? Where's my trimmer? Okay, so I know that that gap is 5, so I want to do it smaller than that. How big is my piece here? I can measure it on my grid. It's about 3.5. So let's do a piece that is, I'm going to do it that it's 4.5. Because I think I probably want it to be 4, but if I start with 4.5, I can always trim it down. If I start and it's too small, I have to cut another whole piece. But yeah, if I put that in there, yeah, gonna work. It is gonna work. And then that would go on top. But let's use some of this. So if my thing's 4.5, let's do this to 4. And that go on the top just like that. Although I want to make it just a little bit special, so I am using my distress gold. I'm just going to take, you know, I'm saying I'm using my distress gold. This is a full pack of distress gold, and I'm pretty sure I've got an open one already. Let's try and use what I've got. Of course, if I can't find it, I'm just going to use it anyway. Nah, let's go with it. I bought it to use it. I should have fun with it. I'm thinking circle. Let me get a circle punch. Right, 1 1/4 inch circle. Yes, it's retired. Let's not pretend that we don't all have retired dies that we still use sometimes. Now, I deliberately just very slightly cut the bottom off of that because I want it to fit just under like that, I think. Just on the bottom, so that then that can go on like that. There we go. Let's assemble this together. Go. Might pull off my adhesive backing. And pop that along the bottom like so. What do you think? Hey Ali, no worries. Have a fabulous Christmas when it comes. Right. I'm just going to chop this. Only need to have, I'm going to do it at 1 centimetre. Thinking half centimetre, but 1 centimetre is best. Like that. And I'm just going to fold this in half. Like so. And now, this is probably the fiddly bit. So, how can I do this and make it less fiddly? Right, if I do it like that, this piece, this is like my hinge, okay? And I need to stick it so that it's inside, try to see it so you can see it with the light, it needs to be stuck to that part there, but so that the hinge lines up with that join in the center. This is where Tombow is your friend, because Tombow will let you maneuver things around nicely. So let's stick that in the middle. I don't care about it being perfectly straight. I don't care about it being parallel or anything like that. All I care about is that that fold lines up with that center crease. Okay, show you again. Trying to get the light on it. You see that? Okay, so now what I'm doing is putting glue on this part of the hinge. And then sticking my nativity piece into the center. If I fold that down, fold that out of the way. Haha, can't fold it out of the way. That needs to go inside it. So let's hold that together. Let's try and get it straight. It's too long. Chop a bit off. A little bit more glue, because the glue came off the first time. You know, this is going to be a nice card, but it's not the sort of one that you would want to make 500 of. Let's put it in. Do it about to the halfway mark. And then hold that together. And pop it over. So now, right, so it should fold flat, which it does. And then when you open it up, this bit should swing out more. Why are you not swinging? Yeah, right. There you go. So folds flat, tucks away inside, Actually, probably fold it flat like that to go in the envelope. But then when it opens up, you've got the nativity piece. It just kind of swings in the centre there. You've got the Mary and Joseph, the manger, and just that little bit of gold. What do you think? Do you like it? I'm quite pleased with that. What I want to do next though is on one side, I'm going to put the wise man. On one side put the shepherd. Actually, if I put the shepherd and the camel, do I need the camel? The camel's too much, isn't it? Let's just put the shepherd on one side, wise man on the other, and then I'm going to do something with a star up at the top, I think. Yeah, we have kind of run on a wee bit now, haven't we? Do I need a camel? Do I need more than one wise man? I could put, well, you see, if I'm going to put more than one, I would need to put 3, and I don't think I've got room for 3. Let's just put 1 on at this side, and then let's put the shepherd on at the other side. I'm glad you like it, Shona. Thank you. You can see how it's based on the one that we did at the retreat. Only the one at the retreat was far more involved. This is just using the same principles and making it a lot smaller. So there you go. You've got the wise man on one side, Mary and Joseph in the centre. And up here, now here's my question. Up here, am I going to put my sentiment? I think I do want my sentiment on the front. And what I was thinking of doing for my sentiment, I can find it. Here we go. So again, the Night Divine stamp set is beautiful. Although actually, that one, he should be called Wonderful Counselor. It would go really nicely on the back. Although I'd have to split it. Maybe not. But having this one, oh, you see, these are too big. Glory to God in the highest. You just about fit. Yeah. And I'm thinking white card with navy text, or navy with gold, fitted gold embossing. Let's do white with navy on a navy background with maybe gold edging. Right, okay, let's do this. I know what I'm doing. Let's get my white cardstock. Night of navy ink. Don't get me wrong, I think heat embossing would look beautiful, but sometimes heat embossing, if you don't catch it in the right light, it doesn't look right completely. And I want this to look really clear and really crisp. So there you go. That is very crisp. You cannot but doubt. You cannot doubt that that says what it says. So let's trim it along the base of the words. Oops. Oh well. Maybe slightly too close. Right, I've got Glory to God the highest. Gonna use my gold sheet. Use the one that I've already cut out of. I can start another whole full sheet. the touch. Right, here's a tip. See when you have just cut round a stamp to get the measurement of it rather than measuring it to 2 by 3 or whatever. To do the layer for it, stick what you've got and stick that onto the bit that you want layered. Do it just like that. Actually, I'm going to start with scissors just to make my life easier. So let's put that in there. Perfect. There. So now I've just got that tiny gold edge. To be fair, I was going to put it onto navy as well, but actually I think it's fine just as it is. I don't think it needs the navy on the back because you've got the navy here. So let's do another hinge. Fold it in half. Stick it down. Actually, let's cut it down a bit. Don't need it to be quite that big a hinge. So let's put the glue in there. When you're doing something like this, you don't want to use too much glue or else it's all just going to jam shut. This one's going to be a lot easier to put the hinge on because I've got it there. I folded everything down flat and this I'm just going to position in the center. Hold it down. And then, see again, too much glue. That will just all hang up. If you have done too much glue, open it up, rub off some of that excess, rub it onto your fingers like you did when you were a kid. Let's get rid of the excess glue from the side there. And there we go. And that's our card. Glory to God in the highest. I think that is a really nice card for Christmas. It's going to fold flat like that to go in the envelope. And when you open it up, you've got this little rocking nativity piece and there. And it needs the star, obviously. So I think star up in this corner here or in the center above. What do you think? In the sky up here? Here, maybe? I think the star needs to go in the sky, doesn't it? Tell me what you think while I grab the stars. But I'm pretty sure that's where it needs to go. Up in the sky. I think you're right, Shona. Even as I was thinking it needed to go somewhere else. Oh, in the centre. You see, if I put it down there, will the whole thing fold properly or will it be too bulky? See, I've got one vote in the sky and one vote in the centre. Do you know what? Well, because you see, again, I've got two different stars. So if I use the small one, so that's the small star that could kind of go in that centerpiece about there. Or I use the larger star and I put it up in the sky. Could I do both? Small star in the center and large sky in the sky. See, you guys are just genius. Let's do that. Large star in the sky. I knew there was a reason that Stampin' Up! Had made these stars in 2 different sizes. They clearly knew that we were going to be having this dilemma and provided us with the tools to resolve it. There we go. So there's the little star in the center, the big star in the sky. The whole thing still folds flat, not too bumpy, and then it opens up to have a card that looks like that. What do you think? All I need to do now is just panel on the back for the sentiment. Just going to do that just now. Grab my white. So I want this to be, each of these I want to be 4.5, so I need to do this at 9. And then, so it's 10 high, but I'm taking it down 0.5 centimetre, so that means I need to take it to 9.5. 9.5 by 4.5. In theory, that should fit perfectly onto each of these, and they do. Great. Now here's the question then, what sentiment do I put on? Because if I could do a sentiment that crossed over the 2, I could do the joy and peace. So the joy was on one side and the and peace was on the other. Or I could try and find a different sentiment. Just have a quick look, see what I've got. Right, I've got one from here. I'm thinking sending wishes for a wonderful and joyous season, or tidings of comfort and joy. Do you know what? Sending wishes. Sending wishes for a wonderful and joyous season. Because at the end of the day, it was celebrating a joyous occasion. That's what the nativity is, I think. Let's do this. Yep, this works. In retrospect, putting the backing on before you've done the bits on the front is a lot easier. So if you're making these cards, I would recommend you put these back panels on. Certainly stamp them before you put them on, because if I had tried to stamp that, it's got so much of a rocky bumpy background, it would not have ended well. Right, so there we go. There's the back of our card, sending wishes for a wonderful and joyous season. And then that is the front of our card. Glory to God in the highest, with the Nativity and the wise man. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm quite pleased with that indeed. And I think at that point we will call it a night, because what time are we? We're now 10 to 9. It's getting far too late. Don't want to be listening to me all evening. All right. Thank you all very much for everyone who's joined me this evening. I wish you all a fabulous Christmas when it comes, with many blessings for the new year. But I will see you in between Christmas and New Year. It is definitely my intention to do a Facebook Live on next Wednesday in between. And yeah, have a fabulous time. Take care, everyone. Merry Christmas. Bye.